let's step into our daily quick cap here. And for today, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol BBWI, that is Bath and Body Works. And I'm sure most of you are already looking ahead here. And whoops, did not mean to do that. And you can see this one really didn't work out for us all that well. But we'll get into it, and I'll explain why I still felt confident in it, why I still even now am feeling I'm okay with the loss. And that's a big part of dealing with losses is being able to break it down and say, you know what, I'm okay with this loss. This was a good trade to take. And this one was. It didn't work out. We didn't get the result we wanted, but this was a good trade to take. All right, so let's look into the technical analysis of this thing. Came up on the scanners right there, and we will zoom in just a little bit. Came up on the scanners right there, and looked at it. The first thing, well, there's really the first thing that I noticed. Obviously, that's just the case with what is that arrow doing up there? Let me go and erase that line too. One of the first things that I noticed about, and that's pretty much everything right now is in a downtrend in some way. For the most part, pretty much everything is trending downward. Now we just, when we're doing a bearish play, we just got to see basically, is there a trend line that we can draw and that we can use to our advantage here? And there was, and we're going to zoom in on what is relative now. All right. So, I mean, we see, well, when I'm zoomed out, do you see how this point, to me, this was sticking out of the screen? I don't know why. I think it's because of how straight up this move was. But this was very easy to see, was this point. And so basically, for me, all I did was play connect the dots right there. And you can see we are very close to it right here. So this isn't a textbook like with the waves going down. However, I mean, we had a nice solid pivot or pyramids right there. Price consolidated and then came down, and at where it came down at, I mean, that trend line just passes through there way too perfectly for that to be any type of coincidence. So I was very happy with that and with seeing that. The other area on the technical analysis side was right in there. All right, and you can see how very, very close we got to it. That's because of this area. Yeah, I could see this. This was easy to see as well. Good area to spot. So, and I think I forgot to mention, this was a river to valley setup. And if you're confused by what that means, really, if you're confused or got questions about anything that I say, please feel free to go check out armortrades.com. And I think you'll like it. I think you'll like what you see. So for this one, now let's see what we've got. Now we've got these areas that we're drawing in. So we've got 3 different areas converging. We've got our trend line, we've got our resistance, and we've also got the 50 SMA right here. So this is already looking good, already looking very good. I mean, price, even like right now, I'm not in this trade because I don't really swing trade. But even right now, I feel like price is going to drop. And I could be wrong. This thing could shoot to the moon from here. Who knows? But I feel like with this setup and everything, price is going to drop. Because also, we've got those 3. But then look down here at the RSI. Look at how insanely overextended we are. And my line is drawn at the 80 mark on the RSI. So our price is very, very, very overextended. It's starting to pull back now, but it's still overextended, which is, it's crazy. It's crazy how overextended. I mean, it almost got to 100 on the RSI. But anyways, so we've got those 4 things. 50 SMA, trend line, resistance, and the overextension on the RSI. Really felt comfortable with taking this to the short side if we got triggered. Really, really thought that this one could have turned out to be a really good trade for us. It obviously didn't. We did get triggered. I got triggered, and we'll look into the 1 minute here in just a sec. Um, but when we triggered, it was relatively, it was within, I think, like the first 10, 15 minutes of the trading day. Can't remember exactly. And I'll be honest, I mean, the chances to profit on this one were slim, as you'll see. So when that happens, when a trade like this happens, this is why it is so important to have a good stop loss set in place, because you need it. You need that stop loss. You need that protection. And that's something that we go over in the war room each and every morning. It's the technical analysis. We go over the entries, and we also go over our stops and the reason why I use those stops. Um, I go over everything and teach you how to do all that in my Income Genesis course. Uh, but all of that is right in front of you. Now, you don't have, I always tell everybody, you don't have to use the same stops that I do. Everything else, like if you're going to follow or try to do what I'm doing as a trader, then I would definitely say have at the minimum use the same trigger that I'm using or the same entry point. Uh, but as far as stops go, you don't have to follow me on that. However, on this one, it just depends. So we usually always go over the 3 exit strategies. However, we're not really going to do that on this one per se because it was really never profitable. Maybe from a scalping standpoint, a little bit. So right there at 9:50, so 20 minutes into the trading day, is when we got triggered. Our trigger was the break of 32.71, I think. So no, so it happened right here. And or maybe it was 32. It either happened at 9:50 or 9:51. I can't exactly remember. But you can see if I just hold my cursor right around that mark, look at, there's not a lot below it. Not a lot happened below it. We did eventually, get a decent little push down here into the 32.40s. So you could have got like, what is that, 25, maybe, in between 20 and 25 cents. How there just really wasn't much of a chance. So even from a scalping standpoint, you probably would have taken a loss on this one. And that's okay. We can't win every trade. It happens. The good thing about going over a losing trade with you is trying to help you manage them and figure out how to manage them and manage them mentally so that you can better cope with it. You can say, all right, you know what, we lost, but kind of just like I just showed you, you get to say we lost, but you know what, this was a good trade. Here are the reasons why I took this trade, and I am very comfortable with the fact that I did take it. When you're able to do that and you're not just trading blindly, but you're able to uh, prove why you took a trade, even if it turned out to be a losing trade, it will make you feel so much better as a trader. It will improve your confidence so tremendously much just because you're not going to be second guessing yourself. You're going to know, like, hey, you know what? Just need to stick to what I'm doing, stick to my guns. This was a good trade. And it just didn't work out. And that's exactly what happened here. This was a good trade. This was a fine trade to take. And it just didn't work out. For whatever reason, did not work out. However, I am content with taking it. Um, yeah, you never like losing, but I'm content with the loss. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. Uh, and I'm happy that I've got a system that I trade where I'm able to get my stop set in place so that I know exactly how much I'm going to lose in case things go completely against me. This one did not go completely against me, so we didn't get, that maximum loss. Either way, I'm going to quit rambling on. This was a great trade that didn't work out for us. That's probably the best way I can say it. Good trade on the technical side, just didn't work out. That about wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching, and God bless.